And there is the Brutwurst. Everybody's favorite wiener. Sorry, trying to do multiple things at once. A little delayed there, even though I hit the button. We're going to be watching some Phobies viewer games. We do have a full docket, so we got to get right into it. But, as always, I have to let everybody know at the start that I am part of the content affiliate program. That's why... Whoop, I hit the wrong button. That's, in fact, why you see that almost 100,000 coffee. And at the time of this recording, we're closing in on that Phobies tournament that's going to be happening. The official first-party Phobies tournament, and I'm very excited about that, to be honest. I'm very much looking forward to it. Hopefully, I will be chosen to cast at least some of the games. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Now we're going to switch over to the actual thing. Now, we're going to lead off. I'm going to make the executive decision to look at some Karst games. Karst actually messaged me and sounded kind of excited. I don't know if I could... It's via text, so, like... I'm going to say Karst was excited about sharing these games. So we'll see how exciting they are. Good God, they are going to be long-ass games. All right, here we go. Strap in. Karst leading it off on Opticon, Subnoxious, and Ash Showcase. Subnoxious, we've had a few Ash games. We've had some Ash games that are very interesting. I haven't seen too much Subnoxious, like, full stop. I think the first time we saw it was maybe last week. Also, why is my sound all messed up? There's something with my speakers, because they seem to keep cutting in and out. Not like the sound stops entirely, but it feels like things are dramatically higher and lower volume for no apparent reason. I don't get it. But anyway, and yes, it is the same thing. Before anybody goes, well, obviously it's going to be different volumes if you watch different stuff. No, it's like the same thing. And then I'll walk away and come back and like, it's way louder for no reason. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we're setting up some turrets. Shocker, unicorns coming in here. I've said it on many occasions, I'm not a fan of the trap gameplay. But it definitely makes sense on this particular map. I do like the structure of Opticon, similar to Vile Vortis, similar to Big House. Interestingly enough, the new map, It's the Pits, feels like it's like if you took one of these maps and just inverted it. Instead of having obstacles, you strip them out and replace it with abyss tiles. And I think the concept is interesting. We'll see how it actually plays out. Plenty of things that look interesting on first glance and then turn out to be horrendous, so we'll see. I was doing okay heat-wise, chat, but I guess I didn't drink enough water today or something. I'm feeling very overheated. I also ate way too many goddamn pretzels. And I ate a whole bag of pistachios the other day, so my stomach is a little messed up. It's a little messed up. Ooh, tick coming out. We're stalling out. Panic points stabilized now, but not for long. We're going to trade 1 keys for a bit. Notably, Karst has 1, 2, 3 1 keys on the board. This seems to be a common Karst trend across a lot of maps. It's just having access to these 1 keys. Now, what's interesting here, was there an opportunity to be aggressive and go 5 to 1? There's the Subnoxious. So for those curious, there's Subnoxious. Toxic Blast. It's going to be interesting. We got a couple mechs on here. Presumably bad guys going to answer with a mech, or as many mechs as they can manage. They only have 5 keys to respond to this. I gotta know, does Karst, like... I want to know how much is decided in-game versus going into the game. And by that, I mean... Okay, you're loading into Opticon. Do you go, you know what, this game, I'm forcing this? Or did Karst play, like, 30 Subnoxious games in a row and say, one of these is going to work? Or was it, there's Ash? Or is it more, we're going to try and, you know, like, in the moment, hey, it might actually work here. I'm sure different games are going to be different things each time. Popping the cat. Panic point advantage maintained by our hero, however. And to be honest, I don't understand bad guy's composition here, the Maggie and the Murder Wing. The Murder Wing is like, all right, so we get a kill there. Okay. However, the rest of this seems suspect at best. Kablamo, we get the double poison, and that Subnoxious is really safe. I mean, to be honest, it might have been safe where... Was it safe where it was? Meatball was down, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... The bad guy's maxed out, so, like... The Ash is cute. But I feel like... And I'm not going to check the numbers. Maybe that it would have died. And obviously, not taking damage is better than taking damage, but, like... Whenever we see these showcase things, I want to know how imperative is it that one of these things happen. And in this case, it looks like we were able to leverage the, I almost said panic point, the stim. But we do get the 2-for-1 there. Now, Karst is maxed out here. No challenge play. We're going to do it Sock Acid. Yep. Just methodically dismantling bad guy. 14 keys banked up because Karst was able to keep them locked thanks to the poison. Pressure continuing on the heart for our bad guy. A little above half health, maybe? About half health. Somewhere around there. Ash putting in some work here. I do like this. It's always been the open question of when is Ash better, or is Ash ever better than a Shove Shark or a Phantom or a Paddles or something. And I do like this. We kind of had that whole Shove Shark era with Poke. The higher key investment for Ash. Are we going to see something similar? Like long term? I don't know why, but Subnoxious feels like a Mega Man bad guy to me. There's something about him firing off his arms as missiles that makes it feel like a Mega Man bad guy. The positioning here, very good by Karst, of course, as you'd expect. No opportunity for a freeze here, because we're, of course, on the top of the map. Bad guy down to 9 keys. Karst only with 3, but Karst has a dramatically better board position and, of course, the panic point advantage, meaning bad guy needs to push. You gotta push. You gotta do something, buddy. I think the Ash put in a lot of work. I was skeptical at first. Like, I was giving it a hard time for that initial Subnoxious play, but it's working. It's working. Obviously, Innocuous just putting in work, cooking that tick. Almost said Tickle's tick. Big You're fired into... Nice. Heads up play by Karst. What was it? It was the Electric Cat, so that you can't get the Frosty to come over the top and get that big blom. I don't even know that that would get bad guy back in the game, to be perfectly honest, but it obviously would help them. Gotta love the bait here with the Innocuous. We'll get a boop. Boop. Bad guy finally taking the lead on panic points, at least for the time being, but between the trap here and the positioning from everything else, get a little challenge play, double kill by the cassowary. You love to see it, unless you're a bad guy, in which case you're shaking your fist angrily at the monitor. Even Electric Cat just putting in some heavy beatdown onto Evo 2.0. Where the... went all the way down here. Subnoxious completely repositioning. I like the potential threat to this grouping here. If they stay around the cassowary, they try and reclaim this point. You can get right onto the stem here. Or you still threaten coming back to the middle if there was some kind of big invade. We get the freeze. It does take... it does lock down boss temporarily. And it does kind of lock out the bow. You could... We'll see if the cooldown on Ash is up. It should be. So you could pull the bow into position to hit the Frosty if you care. There's the arm missile. Takes down the jar. Just picking bad guy apart left and right. And I mean, Karst has an eternity here. Bad guy does not have time to deal with all this stuff. You got to defend the panic points. You got to make sure your phobies don't die. And like I said, Karst has plenty of time to kind of do whatever. See, that looks like a Mega Man attack too, doesn't it? Am I crazy? It feels like a Mega Man attack. Now I want to, like, Photoshop either Subnoxious's head on Mega Man's body or Mega Man's head on Subnoxious's body. There's the Ash play. Not the one I was calling out earlier, but still a decent one. Fairly aggressive with the Electric Cat until you consider that there's only one phobie left. I don't even know if there's a freeze available, but even if there is, it doesn't matter. Why? Alright, why did bad guy do this? Thump. GG. Well played. Yeah, both phobies, I mean, I don't know that the Subnoxious poison was fine. It got that double kill in the beginning with Maggie and Murderwing, but it was able to port around the board and put in a lot of work, so pretty well done. Pretty well done. And the Ash got a lot of value over the course of the game. GG. Alright, hold on one second, chat. Alright, chat. Let's take a look. Oh, damn it. Close out of the profile. We were going to look at another Karst game. We will have... I think this is the only dupe for today. We'll see. We'll see. Is this the right one? Excuse me. My tum-tum is all messed up. Yeah, it's this one. All right, jumping in Karst once again. Our heroes. I think the notes are backwards. No, these are right. So new undead anti-poison tech. I, honest to God, don't know what that means. What are we doing here? Come here, good boy. Come here, good boy. The noodle's with me once again. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? No, don't chew on the... No, don't chew on the chair. He's still a puppy, so he chews on everything. You're a good boy. I know. You're a good boy. What do we got? This is an interesting start on Pluto. It's been a while since I looked at this map. I know this is kind of oft maligned. But given how bad guy opened... I mean... That's a significant poison on Unicorn. Any poison on Boomer is going to matter. Get a quick takedown there. Trying to swap screens real quick. Sorry for the sound cutting out. Yeah, you're a good boy. Yes, I'm talking to you. You're a good boy. I said he's a good boy, and his head perked up like, really? Which begs the question, was he doing something he's not supposed to before I called him? Panic point advantage, bad guy. However, our hero does have board advantage as far as units go. Does have the option to take the stem, including with the Electrocat. And that's probably what's going to happen. We're going to see a kill. No, maybe not, probably, but... Keeping the bow safer makes sense. A lot of one-movers out of bad guy. Unicorn just went down. We got bow. Zappy comes in. Trying to offer a way to clear out this middle, especially in light of Bowmangles holding the fort. It's like we're going to trade Bachelas a little bit. Interesting repositioning there. It makes sense given that the Zappy and the bow could be in range. Probably, I'm going to assume mathematically that would have killed our hero's bow. Or if not, certainly made the bow wish it was dead. Erratic is the follow-up. Hope I'm looking at the right game, because I'm very confused by new undead anti-poison tech. Is it just kill all the opposing guys? It's kind of hard for them to poison you if they're all dead. Oh, how the turntable. Panic points have flipped. Oh, they did. Ooh, a little bad sheepy action. It can hit the stem, so, like, you don't love that. There's no saving this erratic. I do agree with kind of going for it. All right, poison. Ooh, all right, all right. Okay, okay, he's cooking, he's cooking. So how does this work? Attacks or abilities? But I'm assuming it works for status effects, or otherwise we wouldn't even be looking at this, but like... I wouldn't have thought that that worked. That is pretty cool if that does work as anti-poison for undead. I mean, is the real... is the real lesson the sheep we fried along the way or something? Alright, hold on. I want to see that again. I was writing a note and I didn't pause it fast enough. So we're at 27-26. Wait, we do need... We need to see what Erratic was at after the life leech. Huh. That's pretty cool. I would not have considered a status effect like poison to be an ability, but I guess it makes sense. Doodle, not for you. Doodle, come. Come here, good boy. You're a good boy. The Erratic able to tank the bad sheep poison thanks to this. That's a really cool play. I do like that. Now I gotta know, did Karst know that coming in, or did he just try it? And you're like, yeah, you know what? We'll wing it. We'll see what happens. Oh, we're doing a complete repositioning. I mean, Panic Point advantage is Karst, so it's his game to lose. Almost, wow. Almost 1,400 damage. Kablamo. I have to imagine the retaliation here is going to be sufficient to eliminate the board. Or close to it, at least. Down goes Zappy. I mean, with Daisy on the board, this is just extremely difficult for Bad Guy to break. Also, shield on Erratic. Dude, Sir Probes a lot. Kind of cooking. Does Sir Probes burrow? No, he just has regular movement. Down goes Tick. I mean, it's pretty cool. I know I've said that like 4 times now, but it is a unique interaction. Admittedly, most people are nowhere near Sir Probes a lot. GG. I don't know how practical this will be. The novelty of it makes it feel like that was a cooler play than the first Karst game we watched. However, I don't know how practical that will be between key costs. Like, it was an Erratic and it's Sir Probes. You have to specifically be facing poison. You have to be in a position where they can't, like, it'll get at least 1 tick of the poison, but I don't know. It is good to know. That is good, something to keep in mind. All right, zone in here. Painful Fate is our hero this time. Brute Worst, back at it once more. I feel like everybody and their brother is submitting a Brute Worst thing now. Like, everybody loves Brute Worst all of a sudden. Noodle, are you the good boy? Come here, good boy. You need to go out? All right, hold chat. We're going to pause. All right, chat. Stairmaster Contortio. All right, well, we're back to year 1, I guess. This is a 22-turn game, which arguably is a very long game on this map. It's debatably a very long game on this map. I realize I kind of need to move me. So I did that tournament video, like, about the tournament announcement. And I realized as I was trying to get footage from the viewer games that, like, I'm in a lot of it. It was a little difficult. Mummy, huh? And Unbearable? Painful Fate seems like they're on a pauper challenge here. And there is the Brute Worst. Everybody's favorite wiener! I think the mummy's just going to take some pot shots here, and you can back up. Maybe not. I was going to say you roll up the Unbearable, take a shot, roll up the Stairmaster, take a shot, and then back it up with the Brute Worst. And if they want to get cute, you're going to get diseased, buddy. Little body block action. Nice. Is this good? If it weren't for the Brute Wars backup, this might not be great, because the Mummy could go in and maybe potshot the sheep. Certainly the Contortio, but do you care about the mini-me's? Like, they're not that big a deal. Alright, we got Chuck coming in halfway through the game. This is not playing out at all like we typically see on Always Watching. Usually, 5 turns ago, we're already heart-rushing. You see the obstacle that's between Mummy and Daisy? If that weren't there, I wonder how much easier it would be to defend. Like, you can't get rid of the one that's between the heart and Contortio. Or Gravedigger and the heart down at the bottom. But I'm wondering how you could salvage this map. And I feel like getting rid of some of the blocks that are already present, so that you could roll up more surface area defending, but then if they block it with their Gravedigger, does that even really matter? I don't know. Daisy. Pew pew lasers. Not bad, sheep. So we don't have the extra range on this, so Chuck is safe or net. Okay, I was gonna say, what exactly are we doing with that jar? I was gonna say bait, but I don't think that's what it was. Why? Are you sure about that? Oh, no! I don't like that one. That one's no bueno. 2 undead and a quagmire for your trouble. And then a little oopsie baby action to power down the mucus monster. I know it's supposed to be a swamp monster, but it's funnier as a mucus monster. Alright, maybe the Cyclops dies here. We'll see. Nope. Oh, and the Brute Wars lives? Yikes. I got bad news for you, bad guy. Your subscription to this game has been canceled. I meant this particular game, not like Phobies in general. I realize how that could be confusing. Stairmaster's attack just seems so dramatic. Like, it should do way more than it does. To be fair, I think a lot of the initial Phobie attacks seem more dramatic. Not that the newer ones are bad or anything, but it feels like the world is ending when some of these Phobies attack. Got a mucus monster spanking a sheep up there. That's weird. It's very weird. Brute Wurst absolutely put in some work. Not to say that the rest of the team didn't, but... And then there was Chuck. Bad guy gonna hang in for a few more points, but quite clearly this game is over. GG. Well played. Definitely a decent showcase for Brute Wurst. I will say that. What are we doing? Got him. GG. I'll play it there, painful. Alright, let's see what we got next. Ooh, somebody new. I think. Pretty sure. Right, we got somebody new. Coming to viewer games, Junto 2? I'm saying the name right. The 9 most tense turns of my life. Well, this is a 31 turn game. This is 31 turns. That's different from 9. I know many people that would confuse them. So, I can understand. I keep looking at OBS, and one of the updates changed the layout of some of my stuff, and I can't get it back to the way it was, so it just looks weird every time I look over. Alright, our hero taking an early panic point advantage until now. By the way, our hero, I did notice as we were zoning in, stress level 23, so here we go. I love these games, because they're always so silly. Fish tank. Speaking of silly, I've not seen a fish tank since, like, 2023. Exaggerating, of course, but it is kind of funny. Let's see what our hero does, because that's a free murder wing kill. And probably a free fish tank. That's not bad. I think that the bow should be above the cassowary. But it's fine. Snappy. Snappy's another phobia we haven't seen in a long time. No! Isn't Bloat's ability 2 range? Could have got a free hit here, just to help soften it up. I mean, I get not going after it and getting closer, but, like, you could have done the 2 range part. We're diving for the stabby. Is this enough? Oh, we're not even going for it. Alright. Taking the panic point for freezies, sort of. Unfortunately, it's not free. It's the cost of your cassowary's life. Gravedigger. That guy does have 3 keys, but I'm not sure what their plan is here. I'm really unclear as to what their plan is. Typically, you don't want to charge electrical phobies if you're a mech. Why retreat the snappy? Like, you could have just gotten an extra hit on him. Got a little fetch action coming in. Another phobia we haven't seen in an enormously long time. It was good to have a puppy. Pop goes the stabby. Bad guy still down panic points, however. See, I'm pretty sure this thing would be dead right now. There's a world where they don't stay. But then you have a very damaged fish tank just kind of waddling around doing nothing. Free kill on the Contortio. That didn't seem necessary. Why are you desperately trying to keep the Snappy undamaged? This is actually going to be kind of challenging to... So, like, you don't care about 3 of their 4 phobies, but you do have to deal with that erratic. That's an issue. 2 melee phobies and a turret. Alright, kill the fish tank. Alright, fish tank down. It is in fact sushi. Boop! Pop the erratic out of there. Some pot shots here. 0 keys to 0 keys. Yeah, this is dicey. The good news is you have undead, so it's possible for them to leech enough to stay alive, but this is not going great. They're also pretty tanky. However, bad guys now got the 4-to-1 panic point advantage. Does that save the Blinky? Yes, it does. All right, well done on the math there, recognizing what needed to happen. And you do kind of have the erratic trap, because these 2 idiots are going to slap each other. Oh, they're going to slap the crap out of each other, but they're just going to shrug it off. And 2 phobies to 1, especially when one of them is a 2-mover against a 1-mover. Big advantage. Admittedly, this erratic, they're about even. I was going to say the erratic is pulling away, but I think they're about even. But Alistor, they are not. They are both slowly dying. I would have said just go after the heart. Like, just stand there and slap the heart. But it did work out. GG. Well played. Yeah, it did look kind of dicey there, but managed to pull it out. Well done. Alright, let's see what we got here, chat. We got a little noobsim action. Got a little noobsim action. Hold on one second, chat. Alright, here we go. GCD's our bad guy. Noobsim is our hero. GTP, guess the phobie that I spawned. Turn 11. Noodle, come. Noodle, your toy is over here. Come here. Noodle, come. Yeah, it's over here. I know, you're hearing the squeaking in the mic and not the game sounds. I'm sorry. Yeah, stay. Good boy. You got your bed, you got your toy. Chill. So this is one of the new maps. I have not seen this map in action. Have we seen this map in action? Maybe we have. I remember staring at this map for a while. You may be able to hear him squeaking in the background. He's a good boy. He's a menace, but he is a good boy. Noodle, stay here. Alright, little microscopic action to support the center. Is this a good mic and Gesundheit map? I can see it. Alright, we get an early Akira from Bad Guy. This was rumored to be a potential Akira map. He's now staring at me. He's staring at me from the stairs, wondering why I'm staring at a computer screen instead of playing with him. Counter Akira! This is gonna get spicy. Rambolina. That's actually pretty interesting. I like that idea. Also, for these Guess the Phobie things, you gotta give me a little more to go on than, like, just your keys, obviously, and the turn. Because, like, the cast is too big. Especially if you cheat and, like, spawn multiple Phobies or something. I'm not saying noobsim did that, but we'll see. So, going into next turn, you have 6 keys. A flying Phobie. Puff? I have no idea. Like, what are we supposed to guess from this? Like, I don't think there's enough information in this to guess as to what it is. Jar? Alright, that's a cool play there to pop the Tooth Fairy. Is this a Rambolina kill? Ooh, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see that one coming. I did not see that one coming myself. Jar goes bye-bye. We'll get the counter kill on the microscopic. I guess technically this will be key even or potentially even key positive for Bad Guy, but the tempo advantage is for our hero, and I imagine that Akira is going to go down. I think this is potentially a boop kill? No, because you can't get past that. There's a world where this is a boop kill. It is not. I guess that guy died from a boop, but that doesn't really count. That doesn't really count. What about noobsim's like, guess the phobia I spawned? It's Jar. Also, I did this other cool play that you shouldn't pay attention to. Just care about the jar. Like, what? What are we doing? What is happening? That guy kind of, like, walked to their doom into that Akira pole. Okay. I mean, I don't get the smiley spawn from Bad Guy. I don't understand why that even occurred. The Alistor is kind of annoying. I don't really get bad guys' last few spawns. Phobie spawns. It just seems weird. 3 flyers, though, so Rambo is just reduced damage. And I guess displacement. No auto kills. That seems like you are ripe for AoE. Yoink. Good reposition with the Akira. Let you get that double hit. Is that all that meaningful? I don't know. We'll see. It is important to get that Alistor off the board, because otherwise that is obnoxious to deal with. Get the double kill anyway. Just Smiley left. Massive, massive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 2 panic point advantage. There's so many panic points on this map. Freakish amount of panic points. Oh, you didn't have to do this. The animation is so long! GG. Got him. Well played, noobsim. Although I have no idea how you expected me to guess that you spawned Jar Cannon. Like, is there... I don't know. Did everybody at home guess Jar Cannon? I don't know how you're expected to have guessed Jar Cannon. All right, we're back on the rings. This time with Big She. A little warm-up. Also, first time playing this map, so don't expect perfect gameplay or something. Hi, Chomps. Well, hi, Big She. Welcome back. Welcome back. We'll see how many people return. Somebody's got to ping... Akune, Shadow Force, Alien Engineer, who else did we lose over the years? I mean, there's a lot of people from my channel specifically, but trying to think of other higher level players, but we gotta ping all the old guard, see if they want to come back. I do appreciate for the tournament that they're setting everything to level 1. I'm willing to bet that there was a fair amount of debate of, like, we can't reasonably have a tournament that Hoploy can just abuse all their levels in. Because then it's not really a tournament. But at the same time, you can't end around the levels, because then the people who paid to be higher level are going to be upset. It's a tough catch-22, which goes hand in hand with any of these systems. I know, like, Clash Royale and a number of other games have found ways around it over the years. But it's still kind of annoying. Hi, good boy. You found your toy? Go, good boy. Got a little puff action. Bad guy, taking a big panic point advantage early. I don't love the idea of turrets on this map. So, like, Hexy doesn't impress me here. But bad guy also went pterodactyl, so, I mean, what are you gonna do? I don't think there was any way to position for a bomb there, but I do like the Noxious. Gonna make bad guys' life pretty difficult given that there's no mechs. And will hopefully provide an opening to be able to push some of this back, because it's a 3-6 to 2. A lot of pressure on the heart. Pterodactyl kind of screams to me, it's like, I need a flyer, but I don't know what the hell else to do. It's kind of an oddball pick, especially at higher level play, because it just doesn't do enough. Like, there has to be a trade-off between stats and abilities, where, like, if you have a powerful ability, you gotta give some stats for the purpose of balance. But if you have no ability, yes, Undead can life leech, and this one flies, but, like, those don't really count. Like, they don't have as much of a stat budget as Akira's Pole or something like that. And as a result, they should compensate with higher stats baseline, and they kinda do. But if your purpose here is to pick off Henrietta, got everybody's favorite rotating blade here. Floating buzzsaw. The Cylon. The buzzsaw of Cylons. Something like that. Little bit of stabilization from our hero. Still at a panic point disadvantage, but big difference from where we were before. Oh, alright. We don't have an easy bomb. Bad guy's gonna have to dive kind of hard to make something happen. However, our hero does need to steal back the panic points at some point. At some stage, you gotta push. That's a tough one. Puff is positioned for a good bomb. Obviously, our hero is going to move, but it does complicate things because you have that angle. And we have the offense getting generated. In terms of panic points, anyway. Like, more pressure there. Ooh, we're going to offer up the Puff to these three Phobies. Is the Puff dead? That thing's not dead, right? Bad guy didn't just hang. Okay. So now, is the counterattack worth it? It's Murderwing, Puff, and Pterodactyl versus these three Phobies. It looks like we're just going to trade Puffs. Maybe not. Alright, so both players have expended their muffin. Alright, so that was a pretty decent counterattack by our hero. I was kind of expecting that bad guy would tough it out. However, with 11 keys, you're probably losing 13. Our hero will be able to reinforce, probably kill the Pterodactyl as well, and that assumes you're even able to kill the Puff, which I don't know that they were. Frosty. How long until Frosty gets nerfed? Further. Do we think that's going to happen at this stage? It seems like a phobia that people are very prepared to complain about. I think it is, speaking of nerfs and buffs and stuff, just balance patches in general, that it's interesting that the Phobies team is choosing to do a tournament now where they obviously feel balance is in okay enough shape that they can host an event and not get embarrassed about it. Like, it'd be very easy for them to host an event. Maybe not easy, but... Oh, no! That might just be bait, though. Is that bait? This one's gonna be tough. Bad guy not gonna miss this opportunity. Big ol' Blom. Beating the crap out of our hero's team. But not quite. I wonder if bad guy miscounted and thought Puff was gonna die, because that's a big retaliation there. And then we're gonna get a little tentacles action. Get the poison going down on the vulnerable Phobies. Frosty's probably dead to the fire. Final Phobie. Sure. I was about to say Electrosnake, which would have been a kind of funny name too. Temptress is better, but Electrosnake would be funny. Definitely sounds like a Pokemon. Ooh, the Phobies in the north are seemingly a little dangerous here. Do you have enough damage to kill our rotary friend? That's a nice heads-up play. I do not recall, Adona. I don't believe so. One, two, three, four, five. Wow. 450. This is a close one. Tentacles. Finish off the dragon. Hi, good boy. Hi, good boy. Who's my good boy? It's you. You're the good boy. Well done, Big She. GG. No, Tony, I don't think you told us. Alright, we got a Dear H game. Noodle, what are you doing back there? What a good boy. We got a Dear H game. What will you do when you have 2 debuffers on your heart? I mean, they can't debuff the heart, so I don't know what's happening. Is this like a cardiac arrest joke? I don't understand. I don't know what's happening. We're gonna find out. I'm tired. This humidity is taking it out of me, even though my the monitor here says it's not that humid. It definitely feels humid. I also don't know when it resets itself, because I don't think I reset it, but it definitely... It's definitely been higher humidity and higher temperature than it's showing as the highs and lows, so I don't know if it, like, has an internal clock that it resets or what. Oh, we got a little Jaws action from bad guy. Eating numbskulls kind of abnormal. I'm guessing that AWOL and friends were not on the menu due to collection constraints. This is a little dangerous here. I mean, I have to imagine the Daisy is not enough to do this, and then Jaws is not... I mean, I guess you could get the cassowary. Yeah, you just do this, you hit it with the Jaws. Imagine if Jaws had, like, Grimes' ability. You could eat your opponent's guys, too. That'd be kind of cool. Probably be too good, right? Maybe if it was a separate thing, so like you had to consciously use the ability when they were below a certain health total. But that isn't really like... That's not materially different from Grimes. There's the AWOL. Somehow AWOL has fish bones. Yes, that is like the weirdest thing to argue about, Atona. That is a very strange thing to get worked up over. But I'm confident they're not the first people to argue over that. I'm confident. Right, Noodle? You agree? Noodle agrees. You're gonna have to trust me on that. So Glob is just kind of zoning the jaws here, but Bad Guy has 10 keys. What are they doing here? They're really committing to this Jaws plan is what they're doing. Is this worth it? Because doesn't Glob just eat the Slayer and then they clobber Daisy and... Alright, we got 2 displacement guys. The old heebie-jeebies special. I don't. Like... I think the double plural is probably how I would do it. As I say it in my head. We get the lockdown. So not only do we have the heebie-jeebies special, but the Rusty locks down the Daisy, meaning that you can't get the Jaws in there to make any other meaningful impact. It's a pretty good play. I was kind of expecting Jaws to dip. Woolly bully. Oh, I said I was expecting Jaws to dip. Gravedigger, rather. As in go in, kill the bones, get out. Yeah, I think double plural is what I would think. Got the power down on all 3 phobies. This was a weird one. Is this the weirdest game of the night? Okay, that animation looked weird because it looked like it hit the glob, but it actually hit the bow. Honestly, the debuffs mean that, like, you can't do anything fast enough. Still a lot of damage on that Jaws. A lot of damage. However, not a lot of damage from Rambo and Finnegan. Big power down on the Rambo once again, and yeah, not good. I do like the reposition here, because otherwise you could potentially get a boop that causes some weird displacement, and Bad Guy's able to kind of lock you out. Trying to get the counter push here, but too little, too late. I just noticed that Jaws has a tail. It's an itty-bitty tail, but it is a tail. GG, well played, dearh. Yeah, that's a very strange thing to get up in arms, Tona. I assume they were intoxicated, we'll say. That sounds like the genesis of that sort of argument. Ugh. Started a little early tonight, Jack, because I need to finish up early because I am beat. I am sleepy. Nuclrardeath. Coming back. Pluto. I'm really proud of turn 16. Alright, well, we'll see. We'll see what we got. I gotta answer pings in Discord. People keep pinging me. Leave me alone. That's fine. It's fine. Ooh, Nuclrardeath. Never mind. I was gonna say, looking like that Karst game we saw earlier. Amanganada? I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but welcome. Thank you for the follow. Caffeine time? It is not caffeine time at 8 p.m. That sounds like a horrendous idea. In fact, I would almost go so far as to say the caffeine that I consumed today is what's making me tired. It's weird because, like, if I have a lot of caffeine, right? Like, I drink a lot of coffee in the morning. Or I drink an extra coffee, I guess. Maybe not, like, a lot. I just drink more. It does cause weird things, is like, I'll be up, right? I'll be wired for a few hours. But then it wears off. But then it feels like it picks up again as soon as I go to bed. Like, when I finish streaming and I lay down to go to sleep, I am almost wide awake, and it is difficult to fall asleep. Caffeine is a performance-enhancing drug? Is that what you're saying? Got a little blue action. I do like the body block. Gravedigger on this map is a little abnormal, but alright, I dig it. Does Noxious have a really long neck? So, like, it feels like Noxious's wings are coming directly out of his shoulders. But because of where the arms are, to me, it kind of feels like it's almost coming out of, like, his collarbones. Making the entire curvature of his back there an extension of his neck. Like, do you get what I'm saying? It feels like the arms need to be further up and forward. So it's more like wyvern arms, which he's obviously kind of modeled after. I do think Noxious is one of the coolest looking phobies in the game. I just really like how he looks. There's actually color differentiation in the claws on Noxious. I don't know if it's supposed to be a shadow, or it's like the tips are a different color. I don't know. Well, there goes Noxious regardless. We get a big freeze. Bad guy. Big mistake there, pal. Ooh, the body block to lock out the Zappy from hitting Frosty. I like it. I like it. Was that the play? Like, is the body block the play? It was turn 16, right? Turn 16. So I wonder if Bad Guy was trying to bait the Frosty so that you could get it with Zappy, but then the response from our hero is to lock out the Zappy attack lines. Just a good play. Does this look like a nose? Underneath Puff? Like, it looked like a nose there, the little, like, coin that didn't quite get frozen because it's actually part of the background. It looked like a nose to me. Down goes Zappy. Unfortunately, those frozen phobies are going to thaw momentarily. Did buy our hero a lot of time, though. Panic point advantage, Bad Guy. Our hero does have to make something happen. It's gonna be a dead Inoculus. What? Wow. I really thought that Inoculus was cooked, I'm not gonna lie. Bad Guy seemingly did too. I thought we were gonna get another freeze for a second. I'm like, not again. Not again. Alright, this Inoculus has to be toast, right? Panic point stabilized. Only one quote-unquote real phobie for Bad Guy, and that one's not long for this world. There's the freeze. And there is the death knell for Bad Guy. At least they're not running around the map, you know, prolonging the game for no reason. Partially because they can't, but GG, well played. I did like that one turn. I think that was a pretty solid heads-up play. Try and lock out and limit your opponent's options with that. We got somebody new. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. Alright, we got another new person here on Chapeltown. I don't have the foggiest idea how to pronounce this name. Cacarolaclaw? I'm just going to call you Cece. Because I don't know what this particular character is. The third not C. C-A something. I don't know how that's pronounced, like what sound that character makes. So, my bad. You can feel free to try to explain it to me in the YouTube comments, but I promise you I will misunderstand because I don't know how you communicate pronunciation effectively if I already don't know how to do it. I mean, I guess you could post what the phonetic sound is, and we could try. But as I've learned from learning some other languages, like, that is not always going to work. Been a while since we've seen Chapeltown. At least a submitted game. I mean, it's clearly been in rotation, but... Chad, I've been watching a lot of Trench Crusade videos. I kind of want to get into that game, but I will never actually play it. It's a cool minis game, but I just don't have time for minis games. I feel as though skirmish games like the old WoW minis game are criminally underexplored. And as far as video games go, things like Phobies or competitive XCOM, maybe without, like, the variants in it, but, like, I think these sort of things are underexplored. And that's why I'm glad that the Phobies team is branching into the tournament space. It is interesting because there was a comment that was linked. This is a few days ago now at the time of this recording, so it's probably, by the time this goes live, it'll be like 2 weeks later. In the official Discord, I think it was in the Ask the Devs channel, talking about tournament mode. And I commented that, like, that has been my most requested feature since the beginning of the game. The problem is, I understand all the limitations. It's not even just coding it to, like, make a functional thing. There's a lot of other parts that go with it, including would it help or harm the community as a whole. And I don't really know the answer to that. We have ace on both sides of the board. What is happening? Oh, are we going to snipe the repeller? That would be a pretty good snipe. It would be a key positive trade. Removes a core component of your opponent's team. I think you take this. Are we going to kill the Noxious? I mean, I don't hate that either. Oh, I really like this. Wow. I have to assume that our hero's ace is going to bite the dust, though, based on how much damage that did. That was an enormous amount of damage for a single hit. We can get a big ol' boop out of the repeller. Yep, there it goes. Power up the repeller into boop. Oh, we're gonna get bees into bees first. I want to know who came up with the idea for Gin Sting, because, like, it's a cool idea, but it's so weird. That was almost a double kill, but not quite. Would it have been worth it to dive and kill the repeller instead? I guess if they Gonzo the Noxious, is that worse? I feel like you could have just, and I don't care about checking the specifics, but it feels like it might have been better to just snipe the repeller. Maybe you couldn't have one-shot it with the creepy devil, but 6 keys remaining to 8. And, yeah, this is, I mean, that's a trivially dead canine. Bad guy with Miss Moffat as a displacement tool. Heals onto Ace. Alright, free kill here on the cat. What is our hero going to add to their team? Because this is not looking great. You don't have a way to close. You don't have a way to get them to you. There is a panic point advantage, so bad guy does have to make something happen, though. But to be honest, if they wait for the Moffat, they should be okay. You're not... I don't think it would... Why sacrifice this Murder Wing? I don't think that's necessary right now. Ooh, big mechanical hit. Dead Gonzo? Big oof. Forget about the murder wing. We're gonna kill Gonzo Bonzo. And the repeller? Oh, not like this. Yeah, bad guy just got cooked. Oh, he just got raffle stomped. And just like that, how do you lose the unlosable? You give up all your stuff. That's how you do it. You don't even kill the Jin Sting? That's tough. That is not how you want things to go down if you're a bad guy. Yeah, bad guy fumbled pretty hard here. I gotta agree. Our hero was right. Bad guy just up and shit the bed. I mean, I don't know that they were in an insurmountable position, but that was a pretty good position to be in, I'm not gonna lie. And our hero has way too much hard health for bad guy to be trying to, like, end it this way. Not that they could anyway, because Erratic is gonna smoke him. In fact, I'm not even sure why it takes our hero 2 turns to kill them. Unless bad guy just literally runs away. Nah, I guess you can only get 2 hits on this Jin Sting. Did optimize the damage here, so that's good. Or it appears to have optimized the damage. GG! Well played. Look, bottom line is you outplayed your opponent. They made more mistakes than you. That is, in fact, how you win games. Make less mistakes than your opponent, even if it is a 1-0 mistake count. Last game of the evening, chat. We got a little Slammerhead avatar going on. Alright, got a quicker one from mynightmare. Now I have a song stuck in my head. Mynightmare, love your streams, bro. My first time submitting this type of stuff, so I don't know if it's interesting enough. I'm quite bad. Don't worry about it. Believe me, we've had some bad games. And I'm sure this one is fine. Mynightmare is our hero here, and thank you for the kind words. I appreciate when people say that they enjoy the streams. Over the years, I've had ups and downs with viewership, both live streams as well as the viewership on YouTube and stuff like that. And I've kind of settled into a position where I'm just doing whatever's fun for me, which was always the point, but there are different times where I try and, like, I should make a push to grow the channel and stuff. And I do want to do that, but if I'm doing what I want to and people are having fun with it too, that's all you can ask for, right? I guess you could ask for more, but it's all you could hope for would probably be... Well, even there, you could hope for more. I don't know. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. Either way, we got... you know what? We haven't seen Klepto. I feel like we don't see Klepto a lot. Remember when everybody's like, oh my god, Klepto's broken? It feels like an eternity ago. I'm sure Karst Documents still says that Klepto is too good. It probably is, pound for pound, but, like, I don't know. I like powerful stuff. I like when stuff is fun. And it's hard to make weak, boring stuff fun. I don't know what the hell bad guy's doing, like, remodeling their side of the board. Oh my god, are we gonna get a meatball and the leap off this? Is this a dead klepto? Ha! Got him! Got him. Oh boy, bad guy. What stress level do we think we're at? I didn't check. This isn't too bad. We're not like, hey, we just started the game. Hey, guys got Snowball. They got some games under their belt. Dude, I love the way Flail moves. The way it drags stuff. Doomsday 2? Alright, alright. You're right at the cusp of starting to hit nonsense in the higher ranks. 4-0 panic point advantage. I can see why this game didn't last for it. Yeah, bad guys just cooked. This is why there needs to be a concession button. And I am, in other games, you know, like if I'm testing lines and strategies and compositions and things, sometimes it's very easy to be like, oh, this game is over. There's no way I can win. That isn't necessarily true in all scenarios. And it's like, if you don't understand how to play the late game and your opponent makes you play it because they're like, well, prove it to me that you can actually win this game, you can end up throwing a game that you should win. We saw that in the previous, like the game preceding this. So, on one hand, I guess I'm on two minds. Like, part of me says, yeah, have this surrender because it's kind of silly to prolong these sort of games. But on the other hand, it's like, nah, this game's over. I don't think I've ever seen this many obstacles on Pluto get destroyed. Wait, was this the map where somebody did like a 200 turn game for no reason? They tried to fill the whole map with obstacles. Somebody did that just to annoy me. I've had a couple people do that over the years, but either way, GG. All right, chat. That's our 10 games for this evening. There will not be a stream next week because I will be at a tournament of my own. So I'm actually going to pause the submissions, which I'm going to do right as we're talking right now. So that way I don't come back to like 1,000. I will reopen it on my return. We do have 2 in the queue right now. Hopefully there isn't a patch between now and then. I highly doubt that there will be. You know, unless there's some like weird game-breaking bug or something that gets discovered. That's the only way that I picture that we're going to have something along those lines materialize. But even if it does, at least we'll only lose 2 games and not 50 like we've had in the past. But, like I said, no stream next week. I mean, I may do some live stream stuff, and I'm not going to be able to do Phobies streams. So, we'll see. That is going to do it for this evening. We'll be back. We'll be back. Just got a little break. But as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.